rice. It could be pasta, potatoes, anything that has a starch aspect to it will be read in that way. It could be a slice of bread. If you are to eat the salad as a comparison carbohydrate, that carbohydrate is rich in color. That color is telling you to read that. That's a reading. You can actually read that and say, I'm getting vitamins. I'm getting vitamin A, C. I'm getting iron and magnesium and manganese and zinc, and all these things are inside there. When you do eat it, you have it. You're chewing it, and that fiber slows down the processing that your body goes through, and all that is then being between the fiber, the vitamins, the nutrients. It's feeding your bones and your eyes and your heart and your. It's just like feeding your body, so it's nourishing it in the best way.
Or I don't know, would you say that it's better to get those vitamins and minerals through whole food? I mean, I don't want to dispel anyone from taking anything that they need to take, but if you can do a better job of getting these naturally, that's kind of your preferred method.
It's like the safest way to go about it, just because you're not having to guesswork.
Right.
So all the work's been done for you. It's been provided inside of the package of all those colorful vegetables and fruits. And so, the package contains the fiber, contains the vegetable, contains everything you need to, without thinking, you don't have to worry about that. And the results, as far as I have in my own experience and as that of my clients, I have found that using these as your guidelines and your compass, they have shown the best results.
That's great. So tell me, we've talked about fats and we've talked about carbs, but I want to talk about protein, because this is something that I hear about all the time from a fitness perspective. It's always like, protein, more is better, protein. So tell me about, for you and your clients, what is your approach to protein?
I downplay the protein, I have to say.
Really?
You are so funny, because it's so true. They've got, I think, fortified, and if you put the word fortified and protein in one package, boy, they're going to buy it and like by the masses. Those two words alone will really have you rushing to the store to get it.
Yeah, and it's on like every container of powder mix protein, right? All of those words. Every buzzword you could possibly think of.
I think they've even put it onto milk and peanut butter, and I think they put that word now onto almost anything put it onto.
Exactly. I always love too, like when it's like protein and I flip it over and it's like, 3 grams of protein. And I'm like, well, does that really, I guess it's not lying. It does have protein. But I didn't mean to cut you off. You were talking about how you downplay protein a little bit. So
what you actually brought up was a very good point. Reading the back of the package just makes so much sense. I can't drive that home to anybody I coach. The more they empower themselves with reading packages, it's huge. It was a huge eye opener. Regarding protein, though, I do downplay it, because overconsumption of protein is actually kind of hard on the system. It's hard to process protein. It takes work. These things you can see in the research. Number one is that your body at any one time can only process about 30 grams of protein at a sitting. So what happens if you're eating like a massive, enormous amount of protein and you really went all out because you want to have the best day at the gym or what have you? Then anything over that, your body actually goes into converting that over to sugar. The protein is then converted and then stored as fat. So when you do overconsume protein, you're actually going to have, you're going to not see the results, because of it will actually then be converted into a fat, similar to starchy carbohydrates. and you can look at the research yourself, Meg, but it's interesting fact. My client was curious about it, and he said, wow, but yes, it will convert to fat. So it's not going to produce as the results that you need. Like you said, I have people coming up to me about my arms, and I was telling my client, I said, I in fact have to really back off on some arm exercise because I will get too muscular.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally don't eat a lot of protein. I keep it down. But when you're eating the moderate proteins, you're putting less strain on your body, and you're producing and using protein for rebuilding. That's what it's for.
So let's tie it all together. This is my takeaway, and then you can be like, yeah, Meg, you're on it. Or you can be like, you didn't even listen at all. What I really heard from you are the two things that I took away is moderation and balance. And I think that is something that sometimes our athletes and our fitness people, we're not always that great about, right? We're like all or nothing. And so I loved that you mentioned those two words when we talked about all three things. That was like my biggest takeaway, right? And choices, and making sure I'm making the right choices. So have I kind of come up with a good way, or am I way off?
Meg, you've got it.
Yay! All right, so let's tie it all
together. Can't wait to see your arms start
That's right. I'm going to start to have arms just like Stephanie soon. I can't wait. I really can't wait. All right, so fats, carbohydrates, protein. Anything else that we didn't touch on, or you want to kind of wrap that up a little bit and put a bow on it?
Yeah, so just to give you a little bit of context, I can recount a client who's kind of high performing, and she's actually quite thin. She really wasn't heavy. She went to her doctor and found out that her blood pressure was coming up high, and her family was getting a little bit concerned. So she hired me to come by, and what I do when I come by is I go through her. I get invasive. I go inside of her kitchen, and I learn a lot. And we made some modifications. I taught her some cooking tips, and we did some modifications. And it was probably about 4 to 6 months. She went. I said, I can't wait to see the results of your next test. And her blood pressure had gone down. So this is something that she didn't take a pill for. It was nothing more than a kind of dialing those 3 macros incorrectly, making the right choices, reading. I taught her to read the labels, know what you're putting into your mouth. And she actually went away with, feeling better. She actually was doing things in the kitchen that her kids like to eat. It was a lot of fun for her to see kind of a new way of doing things that worked.
Yes.
It wasn't complicated.
Yeah. That's
the beauty of just making a little, this is not overhauling. I'm not eating like disgusting things. It's just a moderate things, change things around, and be consistent.
Yeah.
Probably one of the biggest words you want to learn.
Great. And it's easier to be consistent because you're not forcing people to make these like crazy changes, or, be hungry or stuffing too much protein in. It's like, these are manageable changes that people can make, and then it's easier to stay consistent.
That's what I've found with my clients. It's almost to the point of too simple.
Yeah.
Dial this up, dial this down. That's really all it amounts to.
Yeah.
Stay consistent.
All right. I am super excited. Honestly, I learned so much. And this is one of those podcasts that I'm going to listen to myself like 3 or 4 times and take notes. And because I feel like I really learned a lot today, Stephanie. Now, what are the best ways for people that want to learn more, people that want to connect with you or find out more? Because I'm sure a lot of people are going to want to find out more about power and balance, fitness and nutrition. What are the best ways to connect?
I'm on all that social media stuff. I do a lot of posting of exercises on Facebook and Instagram.
Awesome.
I have a website. I sell 2 products that I make that actually are designed for energy and getting results that you can check out. NutNola and SeedNola. A lot of people like mostly the Instagram, and you can look either my name or Power and Balance.
Okay, great. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have in the show notes all the different ways that people can connect with you. So in the show notes, everybody, you can just click right on it, connect right with Stephanie or with her company. I do want to give you a little mini plug because I love the SeedNola and the NutNola, and you can actually, when you purchase them, you can, I don't remember if it's on the website or if you provide it, but Stephanie can give you awesome tips on how to use it in different ways. And you can like crust your chicken with it. There's a million different ways to use it. You're not just going to use it like granola. I love it. I eat it all the time, and it's super like nutrient rich and all those buzzwords, but the right buzzword.
I call it crazy delicious because I was at a demonstration the other day and they go, seeds? Like, really? I said, yeah. Try it. And he goes, whoa, that's good.
Yeah.
We don't know why it's delicious, so I call it crazy delicious.
Crazy delicious. I love it. All right. Well, Stephanie, I want to thank you so much for speaking with us today. Again, Stephanie is the owner of Power and Balance Fitness and Nutrition. Thank you so much for being with us today. I want to remind everyone you can find and rate Nova Weekend Warriors on iTunes and Stitcher or at massagetherapybymeg.com/podcast. You can leave me any comments or suggestions there too. Typically, you can catch Nova Weekend Warriors. Wednesdays are for interviews featuring 15 to 20-minute conversations, just like we had today, with the people who make Northern Virginia run, cycle, climb, lift, and swim. Until my next episode, have a great week, have fun with your fitness goals, and enjoy each new challenge you set for yourself or that comes your way. Bye.